Remember that record that you bought me like 2 years ago? Well, I just remembered that it's sitting in the closet. So I called you up just to tell you I've been meaning to listen to that. I've been meaning to listen to that. Why don't you come over and talk about it? Ooh, why don't you come over and talk about it?
Hi everybody, welcome to the show. Welcome to I've been meaning to listen to that, the podcast where we go through albums we've been meaning to listen to and use those as a content to learn about each other and our guests. I'm Andrew Ambrose Lee.
I'm Stanley Philippe.
And I'm John Butts.
Heck yeah. And he's a fun guy. He is the host of the show Earworms, and he is he's on Twitch and YouTube as Sorcerer. Please welcome Blake, aka Sorcerer. Hey!
Shout on me is crazy. I have not streamed in like 5 years. I don't know why I got that shit in my bio still. I don't stream anymore.
I mean, if you did anything, you could put it on your bio. Like
this is true.
Yeah.
This is true.
Yeah. But yeah, you have a YouTube channel. Like you had a Tyler video which had like a lot of views.
A couple.
Yeah.
Got a couple.
Yeah. So let's kind of zoom out a little bit. Like immediately when this album came out, I was like, oh, we should get Sorcerer on to talk about this. I know he has a lot of thoughts to it to talk about. You talked about it on your show, but those were kind of like very first impressions, and I wanted to do this episode to see how it was kind of sitting with you. And I think that's like also the benefit of this show is like we kind of like take a few weeks to kind of like assess like what was that like after the circus leaves and such, and go like that was kind of a circus over there, just like the clowns in the White House, like sorry that dealio. Stanley is very serious right now. Like
locked.
Yeah. What before we get into that, what is your history with Tyler the Creator?
It's one that I've told a lot of people. I don't know. I think I mentioned it in my original Tyler
episode,
video.
Yeah.
I mentioned in the original Tyler. I mentioned a lot. I've been listening to him since 2009. And I'm a good 22 years of age. So I was only 6. Should I have been? No. I should not have been. But YouTube and the internet's open source. I have full reign over it. I watch what I want to watch. It was Minecraft videos. It was Tyler. It was Odd Future. It was Bastard. And then it developed into Goblin being my first album I owned on CD. And it just kept steamrolling from there. I have a weird relationship with a lot of the albums where on first listen, my brain is just half the time turned off because I'm listening to it either early in the morning, late at night. And I'm like, I don't know if I like this. And then I wake up the next day and I run it while I'm doing shit all the time for like a day straight. And I'm like, I get it now. That happened with Igor when it first came out. When I first listened to Igor, I was like, I don't know. I don't like this. This feels weird. Da, da, da. And then it sat with me for longer. And I was like, wait, I'm dumb. I get it now. I understand what I'm hearing. But it also comes with the fact that I wasn't used to the new Tyler stuff yet. I was still stuck in like, I like Goblin, I like Wolf. I didn't like Cherry Bomb, and I still don't like Cherry Bomb, but that's a different kind of conversation. And I like Bastard, and I like the Odd Future projects, and so. But yeah, I've been listening to Tyler fucking ever. Like, so it's been that would be 2009 to now 16 years? 16 years?
Yeah. I've been listening since like 2011.
Yeah.
Like,
I got the poster.
Wow.
I got the Don't Tap the Glass. I got
the
box. I got the Cherry Bomb box set up there too, even though I don't like the album. I have it. I got.
You have like you pissed in your pants a few times, like just like
I had to get it. I was like, oh, they got a poster. I'm like, every time he drops a poster, I gotta get a poster now. Oh. And I'm going to Flognaw in November. I went to my first Flognaw last year. It took me that long, but I got to. Amazing time. Phenomenal.
Who was there last year? Like it was Dochi, right?
Oh fuck yeah, Dochi was there. They had a triple back to back that I was like, we're not moving from the spot because they're all at the same stage of it went Denzel, Vince, Staples, and then Schoolboy Q, and then into Earl Sweatshirt.
Fire.
It was a 4 run, and I was like,
it's cracked.
Fuck, dude. So that was cool. They had the MF Doom tribute. They had Cardi there the last night as like the final performer. They
It was 2 hours
had
late. He went, wham, and then he left.
dude. I know he had somebody. I think he pulled Future out. Don't quote me on that. I don't remember. I think he did. There's one because I like my small artists or smaller artists. There was a DJ there by the name of DJ Rio or
Mm,
Rio. Rio. Love her. She's amazing. She's super entertaining. She's the main or one of the main DJs for an LA duo rap group called AG Club. Fucking
mm.
love those guys. I got to meet one of the members at a film festival. Great guy. Have a picture of it. Super happy I did that. But they pulled out one of the members. It was amazing. One of my favorite sets I've ever seen in my life. It was so fun.
Heck
So good.
yeah. Yeah, I want to hear from John and Stanley in a moment, but like my question hearing all of that is like how would you say your brain and your artistry has been formed by being a fan, being a listener of Tyler for all these years?
Too much. I I I mean, I have a lot of stuff that comes through with my art. Tyler's a big one, specifically with music styles and like the things that I like. Another thing is Spider-Man and shit like that, and like Soul Eater. Tyler's music has just been a very pivotal point for me across my life. I've noticed it's like I always go back to it. There's always moments where I'm like, shit, I want to go listen to this right now, and I'll go back. One of the first things I got like super ingrained with my girlfriend on was talking to her about Tyler and discussing like the music because she hadn't heard it or listened to any of it. And I was like, oh, let's go through it. Why not? Sure. So I got her off. She's like, I've heard one song off Flower, but I was like, listen to the whole thing. She went and listened to Igor on her own time. We had a whole discussion on that.
Aw.
Sometime on our podcast, where I'm going to take her through Call Me If You Get Lost because she's been waiting for that one. She's been really excited for that. We listened to Chroma. That was her first new release, Tyler, that had come out. And then the minute we saw like, oh, he's gonna drop something, we're like, oh shit, wow, that was really fast, and we were so excited. We were on a trip to Vegas at the time, and we're like, oh, this is gonna be crazy. Like, oh my God. So it's very ingrained in my artistry though. Like a lot of the stuff I like is kind of cruder. It's a lot more like roughly drawn. Every time he's dropped an album, it's influenced me in some way. This one's a lot more fun. It's a lot
Mhm.
more groovy. So a lot of my stuff that I've been working on recently is a lot more light and fun. When Chroma came out, I went through a whole thing with that of like, you know what? I like the deep shit, man. The deep shit's clean. I love it. Like Him was in contention to be one of my favorite Tylers, one of my top fives for
Mm.
like a couple weeks. It still might be. I have to go through the whole discog again, but yeah, it's been a big influence all the time.
Hell yeah. 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 And let's hear from John and Stanley though. Like, what is your relationship to Tyler? I think Stanley, we talked about it briefly. Like he was kind of in your orbits, due to your like former fandom of like super fandom of like Kanye and such. But what would you say? How would you describe it?
Yeah, I think like listening to this album, it and Sorcerer was kind of like you, like I initially was like, oh yeah, it's cool. I just kind of thought it was cool. And then the more I listened to it, I was like, man, this shit is like so good. And I think what happens with the Tyler is he brings you into your world, his world so much that you kind of live in that and you feel like that's who he is. Like Igor, you're like, that's who he is. And then Call Me If You Get Lost drops, and you're kind of like, nah, I don't know, man. Like I'm with you in Igor. So where are we going next? And it takes a while to catch up to that trip. But once you're there, you're like, oh yes. And then it's like Chromacopia comes on. You're like, oh, okay, well, like it's been a while now, and here we are like rediscovering, and oh, we're getting really deep. And then this felt so surface level compared to that it was a bit awkward to listen to. And I just think he's like that guy, like he's that guy.
He's
Because he
that guy.
he really is, for real, for real. He's just like the artist that how do I describe this? Like in sports, everyone has this 10-year
Here we
era
go.
where
I'm
it's
just kidding.
like you're where where you're peaking, right? It's like your prime. And he is in his prime. I think he's in the tail end of his prime, but it's like,
Uh-oh.
I've won chips, I'm an MVP, I have the skills, but I'm still developing new skill sets. So it's cool to see that he's still doing that. And it's like he has maybe two more albums left. And then I think it's gonna be all. I mean, I'm too like influenced by Kanye, but then it's all downhill from there, Todd Tyler. So enjoy this run while you still have it. But he's definitely still in that peak period, and it's fun to see.
Yeah. What about you, John? Like you have kind of a semi-controversial view of Tyler.
Uh, yeah, I don't
John
know.
thinks that Tyler is J. Cole, and you're like, I fucking hate Tyler.
No, 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 no.
We're doing
If we're
callbacks.
doing like a comparison, I'm gonna pick Tyler all day. But yeah, I don't know if I want to come in too hot, but I just feel like of all of the people that I should like, Tyler has never been that person for me. Like, and that's not out of not trying. I've been around since, Yonkers video. I think I mentioned that on the Earl Sweatshirt episode, and kind of saw him kind of hit the scene and like the shock value, and being a previous Eminem fan. Like Sorcerer, you said you were like 6 listening to Bastard and all that. I was like 8 listening to the Slim Shady LP. So like there's like that sort of, I'm too young to be into this, but so that I relate to there. But with Tyler, I don't know. I don't know what the barrier has been for me, because I acknowledge what he's doing. Like from, when you look to your artist and you kind of build your reasoning for why they're your favorite, I feel like Tyler checks all of those boxes. He's always trying to iterate. He's always trying to do something new. He has a very creative approach, and like changes the aesthetic, and he produces himself. He does all of like the visuals and it's directing, like literally like this is John fodder. But for some reason, I've never deeply connected with what he does. I think the album that I enjoyed the most was Igor. I think Igor took it to a place that I didn't anticipate, and I like the whole sort of rollout and aesthetic around that album was just so otherworldly to me. I was like, this is some cool shit. And also, he's doing more singing than rapping. I feel like when it comes to like, this is very shallow. Admittedly, I can't get past his voice at times.
His rap voice or his singing
Yeah,
voice?
his rap voice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And not for not trying, and I feel bad for like having that take, but it's just been a bit of a challenge for me as a listener. But I always try. I always want to listen to Tyler whenever he releases something new. Like I spun Chromacopia a couple times, Call Me If You Get Lost a couple times, Igor more than a couple of times. The only 2 that I haven't listened to were Cherry Bomb and Wolf. Those are the only 2 Tyler projects that I've never listened to. So maybe I should go back and give those a spin. I like Tyler for what he offers. And but sometimes as a public figure, I kind of like, he reminds me of like the dude that like you're in class and you're like, I don't know, he's like the class clown, but like everybody thinks he's the shit. But I'm just like, this motherfucker's a jackass. Like sometimes I have that with Tyler, but I don't know. Is it envy? I don't even think it's envy. Like, I really don't have an answer to why I feel this way. It's just kind of been my trajectory with him. But that doesn't discredit what he does, and it doesn't discredit the quality, because I acknowledge that exists as well. And someone who likes to attempt to self-produce and self-record, like the dude is doing it on a level that most people will never ever reach in their lifetime. So, yeah, I give him his flowers, but I just, at times, he's not my cup of tea. But with that said, this album might be.
Wow. Well,
I was about to say, oh, I can see the arc now. I don't like what I'm hearing. I'm not a big fan. I fucking love Cherry Bomb. Nothing's as good as Cherry Bomb for me, John Butts. Nothing's better. And I was be like, I can see it now, man. I'm telling you. Do I agree? But I can see it.
what? Okay, like let's go back a little bit, because let's, before we talk about, like, I just want to ask one more question about that. Is what do you think of his production sensibility and his style? Is that kind of your cup of tea, or is that something you admire the most, or is it kind of like, it's not like, he kind of has a style, you kind of know it's him every time he does it?
Right.
Like, is his thing your thing?
Like I hear all of the Pharrell
in the production. Like you like the chords that he chooses, like some of the synth sounds, and like
I love chords. That's my impression of Tyler.
but he wanted to stray away from chords on this. He didn't want to do that this time. But like the production is great and fantastic. I mean, I don't want to get into my, I'm not going to spoil my highlight from this album, but I think if anything, that's what allows me to be pulled in is like how he produces and just like the I am the orchestrator of this entire experience. I think that's what gets me to listen to Tyler every single time because it's like I know kind of like you know, I don't like shit, I don't go outside, like a self produced thing is always going to be my jam. Like I love that shit, you know. Obviously like Ye was all of our goats for that reason to some degree and like his ability to iterate. So yeah, I don't know. Let's work it out. Let's work it out on this episode. Maybe I'll find a little bit more. But
Yeah, let's bring your therapist in. Oh, John, it's me. I'm evil. It's just like,
don't kill me. Don't kill me.
What the fuck is wrong with you, John? Like, that's my Tyler's therapist impression. But yeah, anyways,
His name is Dr. TC.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I haven't listened to Goblin in like 10 years.
That's why I'm here. I am nostalgic for that album, but I can admit it's not very good, but I love it. Oh.
Yeah, that's some stuff I want to ask you too eventually. Is just like kind of how do you think this fits in his oeuvre? Like what is it like? How does the narrative arc kind of lead to this a little bit? But my general thing was I grew up very Christian. I grew up very religious and such, and I'm still religious. I'm still Christian, but like it's still like kind of less intense and less like kind of like of a it's there, but like it's like it's a nice coat I wear sometimes. But anyways, but I was very sheltered and like listening to Eminem for the first time was very shocking. It was very like um I've expressed this before, but this is the first time I've heard anyone be like kind of angry, like that angry. And I wasn't that angry, but it it got to me because it I didn't let myself like feel anger. I didn't let myself feel like frustrated. Like I just like kind of let bad things happen to me. Like and like, oh, I guess I deserve this, you know. So like I wasn't like very like I didn't let myself feel those feelings, and I thought I had like these stigmas of like expressing anything negative is bad, like expressing anything negative is sinful, and so like I like remember being very repulsed by Tyler being and still like this era of Tyler, like the 2011 era of Tyler, is still kind of repulsed by it. But I kept watching it. Like I kept like oh this is like so like disturbing, and I like kept like watching it over and over and stuff. I guess like maybe to like get some like sensory sort of like getting acclimated to like this piece of content, desensitization to it, like desensitizing myself to like material like that. The Odd Future tape too was big for me. It was a big deal for me. I really, it was, you know, the free Earl stuff was going on, and like, you know, he was back with a verse. Like I kept hearing about him, and then he came back with this awesome verse on Oldie. Like I was a huge Frank Ocean fan. He was like one of my first artists that I really, really loved. And it was just like the fact that like Frank Ocean, this artist that I respected so much, was a part of this collective, and Tyler was the orchestrator of this collective, was very cool. And like, even though the material was kind of grim and macabre, I still was very moved and inspired by the way he was able to like galvanize like a collective in that way. And like, I thought that was very inspiring. I thought like, and each person had their own flavor, and they allowed each other to be their authentic selves, and but it was like part of the same soup. And then they eventually like disbanded and went forth to be more themselves somewhere else, which I thought was fucking awesome. I thought that was so sick. I guess like a lesser compare, like I don't think of this art. I don't think of the guy I'm about to compare him to like the same way, but like Mike Birbiglia, like I always like like every 3 years, I always like 2, 3 years, I always like watching his specials to check out what he's up to now. Like, oh, like he has a baby now. Like, oh, what's his perspective on this? And like, but I remember, so like Tyler's the same way. Like, I'm not when in between the eras, I'm not always going back to it. I'm not like I should pull up Call Me If You Get Lost. I'm not really like that very much, but whenever he introduces a world and a rollout, I'm always in. I'm always locked in. I'm always like impressed. And then I live in that world for a while and then I like move on. Like I always like, but man, the worlds he creates, there's something else. Like they're really special. I think he's a goat artist for me. So that's my general take. But I guess let's move on to this
Here,
album.
can I ask you
Yeah,
something?
please. Yeah.
A couple episodes ago, I asked John about a comparison that I thought was appropriate and having to make him pick. So I want to know for you, like, is who's a better artist in your mind?
Uh-huh.
Like artist,
Okay.
Kendrick or Tyler?
Kendrick, Tyler has more material. You know, like that's a huh. Like
It's
the
for the whole
highs,
team. Like
yeah,
anyone, yeah.
We got to
the
figure out the
highs of Kendrick
criteria.
are
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
clear.
say.
The highs of Kendrick clear all of Tyler's like best work. But and also like Kendrick doesn't have like Kendrick's lows are pretty high. Like Kendrick's lows are like it's pretty like baseline, pretty high. Like "Bitch I'm in the Club" is a pretty good song. Like,
It's funny because I know exactly, like you. I'm pretty sure the fucking question you're bringing up to about Sean was the Ab-Soul one, and I saw that
Yeah.
one, and I was like, that's a good question. Wait, and I was thinking about it for a while, and you bringing up Tyler and Kendrick made me think. I was like, I've thought about this a lot. Like
okay.
I genuinely have thought about this a lot because those are my top two, and then right below it is Denzel Curry. But like it's those are my top two, and they swap around a lot, and usually it stays as Tyler just because it's a lot more it's a lot more diversity in sound. With Kendrick, I know exactly what I'm getting into for each project. The only time he threw me a curveball for me would have been Mr. Morale, where it's like you can tell usually going like I have V going through the albums. We're gonna touch Good Kid, Mad City soon, and she's gonna get a full live reaction off of that. But I had her listen to Section 80. I was like, Section 80 is like a book. I was like, Good Kid, Mad City is like a film. I was like, damn, I don't know what the fuck damn is. To Pimp is a poem. It's beautiful. Much Morale's Therapy, GNX is hype West Coast shit. I was like, it's super easy to generalize it. Where then you get to like Tyler for me, and I'm like, how do I generalize Bastard and Goblin? Like it's horrorcore, murder rap. He has a lot of grotesque shit in there. Dark rap, I guess, but at the same time, there's a few cuts in there that are really pretty and like an early sign of the stuff he did later on, like Analog and things like that. And even VCR to an extent on Bastard. And then you go to like Wolf, and it's like, it's kind of like a love triangle duo story, kind of like a movie, kind of like a storybook. You got to keep up with characters sometimes, you know? So it's like, I think for me, it's always gonna be Tyler on top for me, but like, I think Kendrick is better, clears. But like as a personal preference, I think Tyler's just that's just perfectly placed in like my artistic little mind where I'm just like, it's always gonna be different. I don't have to worry about anything.
And this kind of gets at, for me, a little bit about what we were talking about on the JID episodes of how like Tyler is a little bit more of your alt slash kind of niche, a little bit more niche of a rapper, whereas Kendrick can pop in the mainstream and like dominate and be palatable for more, whereas like with Sorcerer's kind of sussing out what he would designate each album, that's a little bit more nuanced and a little bit more, I don't know, specialized. I think Tyler is a little bit more of a cutting edge type of artist to where if like you're used to ABC type songs, you're not going to be able to listen to Flower Boy, or you're not going to be able to listen to an Igor, just like off rip. So I don't know. I think if you kind of remove like the mainstream and the alt from it, I like respect your opinion on that, Sorcerer, for sure.
for me, like, okay, I'll say like they both represent two like different philosophies, but the philosophies are both very necessary to life. Like you know, first of all, it's hard to distill Kendrick's philosophy to like a thing, but like it's kind of like about like black excellence and like protecting the culture and such. And Tyler is about that, but he's like I think his emphasis more is about like being yourself, living authentically, and Kendrick is about that too, but the emphasis is more on like cultural, like black plights, all that stuff, like very overcoming like depression, overcoming like demons, fighting your own demons while slaying, so that you could slay the demons like on in the real world, basically. So it's kind of like just like the weight, like philosophically, I think they're kind of the same, but like I contradicted myself a little bit earlier, but like I think what I'm like coming to is like philosophically they're the same, but it's just like depending on like what you want to put the weight on like the emphasis on, basically. So I think that's so I think you
To
need both.
build,
You need both. Like I
yeah,
think
I was say to build on that, I think you could just break the question. Like one can't live without the other. This is like the definition of like the whole like if you go to like Duckworth on Dam, it's kind of similar to the idea of like what if I take two people and put them in the same situation and just kind of have them kind of blossom in a different way. So it's like there's a universe where these two are just completely flipped. Like Kendrick's out here making a flower boy, and Tyler is making his morale. Which again, like you go to that, it's like, hey, I don't think Chroma was ever. I think he said too, Chroma's like such an intrinsically you needed Mr. Morale to get to this point. This is that kind of self-reflection, like, okay, it had to hit me. That if he's able to do it, that means I'm able to do it. And now you're having this whole over blossoming situation in hip hop where it's like, okay, well now YG's doing it. Okay, now Offset's trying to do it. Or yeah, Offset's trying to, I think it was Offset that dropped that recent album, right? Was Offset Quavo?
It was Offset.
It was Offset? Okay.
With the
I didn't get to listen
bodies.
to it. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
me neither.
You need them both. But yeah, it's like it's just a preference thing on at the end of the day. Again,
yeah. My
it's,
only
it's
yeah.
that guy.
I'll say one more thing. Like I'll let Stanley. Like I want to like hear Stanley's opinion. But like my only thing is like Tyler is like Kendrick's like Tyler's big brother. There's like a little bit of that going on. So like, if we're talking about who's better, then Kendrick is better because like Tyler's trying on, even though he's such a unique thing, he's doing his own thing too. Like he's also following in the footsteps of Kendrick, and he's like also like, um, like the I'm that guy is very Dodger Blue, and like you know just stop playing with me is very squabble up. It's kind of like that idea. So it's like yeah, that's what I feel. But what do you think?
I don't know. Yeah, I think because when I was listening to him talk and I'm like, man, like Tyler's in is almost like it's almost like a Yeezus era where he's not saying like fuck the industries. He's just kind of saying like fuck y'all. Like I'm just gonna do my thing. Like I don't need to live up to your expectations. And I was like, oh man, like Tyler is kind of like yay in that way. And then I'm like, well then Kendrick is like Jay. But no, like Jay was clearly the best rap. I mean, I think he still is the greatest of all time, but he was clearly the best rapper, and Ye was clearly the best like hip hop artist. And Kendrick is, I think, the best rapper, but he's such an amazing artist as well. And yet I think that Tyler, I guess spoiler alert, I think Tyler did a better job with this kind of like I've released so much of me, so now I need to like just do something fucking different. And then you get this. I think that's a better execution than Kendrick's. Hey, I did Mr. Morale and I won a battle, so now you get GNX. Like this for me clears GNX. And
Wow.
so then I'm like, man, does that mean that Tyler right now is in the pole position? Because if in my mind Kendrick is the best artist right now, and the last project that they both dropped, Tyler cleared him, is Tyler the best artist right now? Like I don't really have an opinion to be honest because I think they are the same artists. Like I think they both have clear West Coast LA upbringing. I think they both clearly understand the black plight. I think they both clearly also divorce themselves from utter responsibility of a culture and saying that, hey, I'm going to be your savior and rescue you. And it's like, no, no, no. Like, I'm giving you somewhat of a blueprint of my own life. I'm working through my own shit in the hopes that you can then overcome what we are going through and then what you are going through. So I think they both have the same mission statement. It's just, I think Tyler, right in this moment, has been able to break through the pop of it all. Like Kendrick, I think with GNX is still thinking popularization of self. I think Tyler is kind of thinking like, fuck the pop and let me just do me for now. And that for me is the true artistry, is being able to say, like, I don't really think about the expectation of outside. I'm purely serving myself. So that's where I kind of lean towards Tyler right now. Ask me again in 2 months when Kendrick drops.
We got insider info. What the fuck?
Because like also like
No, no, just a hope and a dream.
with Kendrick though, there was high expectations of like post beef. The expectations are very high. There was no expectation for this. There was no like also like no, I don't want to say need, but like, there's no need. Like he did the project. He did the generational project of Chromacopia. I think that's a fantastic, like one of I think my favorite album of his, but like, I think it's also like, if you want to like do that, you have to like pair Morale and GNX with Chroma versus Don't Tap the Glass. Like you kind of have to pair those together. And like, that's the real competition. And I don't know, like that's a hard one. Yeah. Yeah, Tyler, I would listen to like just for fun though. Like I would listen to like Kendrick's discography. There's more songs where like I have to be in a mood. I have to really want to introspect to like, or I listen to like Mr. Morale when I'm having like a blockage and like I need catharsis. I need some sort of like a desire for a breakthrough. And then Chromacopia, there's more songs where it's about like you could listen to Sticky pretty in isolation and have a great time. But anyways,
Yeah, and I think it's like the Amy Poehler complaint about the Oscars thing, like where she's like, "Oh, like didn't recognize the comedies as being art, but it's so hard to make a comedy. It's so hard to make an album where the intention is to make a bunch of people just dance and just feel." Where with Kendrick, it's like, yeah, like, if there's a snobbery almost to it, or just like, oh, I'm gonna put on Mr. Morale and we tap into my emotional kind of intellect, and then I'm just gonna listen to Sticky and get all sticky. Like, but Sticky has an emotional weight to it that I think like we almost downplay because of the caricature of a Tyler that we've known for so long since we were 6 years old, and not going into grade one yet, but actually like listening to like Tyler saying a lot of crazy shit, but so that relationship I think is why we almost kind of dismiss him. Like, like when he said, yo, all this big three talk, all this battle talk, like I'm fucking here. I've been here. I'm winning these same Grammys that Kendrick is winning. So why am I not being considered in any of these conversations? And I think he's got a point. I think this is him saying like, fuck y'all. Like, I'm gonna do my thing. Got the mustache going. Shout out to the mustache gang. It's got that going. Like it's just. I think maybe that's what it is. I love the stash. I'm a bit biased now, so I'm team Tyler the Creator until he shaves that bitch. Then I'm off of it.
Um, Sorcerer, I'm curious about your journey a little bit and like how your perspective on Tyler switched after like the horrorcore element and him kind of becoming this open, more embedded in the artistry version of Tyler. Like, how did you pivot along with him being so young and like knowing like that was the baseline getting into him?
It took a while. Cause like I said, you have sprinklings of everything we're getting here in the old album. So it's not like I was like, oh, what is this? I don't know what this is. Get away from me. Like it's not like I was like scared to get into it or like adapt with it. It just took a minute because you had those sprinklings and a lot of my favorite cuts off the originals. Say the originals like 30 years old, but like off of those first
like three albums, those first three solos. And it's like you have those sprinklings, and a lot of them are like my favorite songs off of those records. So it's like I knew them, and then Cherry Bomb came out, and I just couldn't get with it at all, and I stopped for a while. So I missed Flower Boy's peak and high, and I showed up like I think a year after, and I was like, fine, if it's gonna be anything like fucking Cherry Bomb, I'm fucked. And I went into it, and I was like, oh. And then it made me go back and be like, okay, wait. And I started going back and forth all the time. And I was like, okay, I see what's going on here. This is like an ugly teen phase. This don't need to be worried about. I don't have to look at this. This is what we were getting to. So it was kind of like it's kind of like just growing up in general. Like I had my moments of listening to these and being like, oh yeah, this is great. Yeah, fucking murder. uh, an R word in there, like all the like it's like, yeah, okay, this is the song. But then you get to that point now where he's having these internal discussions on like worth and monetary value, and is it worth friendships, and do I have friends, and what's my sexuality, and all these things. And that's at the point, I think I was only what, that was 2017. So I would have been like 15. I'm trying to think of time now. But like, yeah, I would have been like 14, 15. And at that point now I'm entering high school. I'm entering that like late middle school era where I have to start asking those questions. So it was that kind of perfect timing to give it like the moment of being like, okay, well, hang on, maybe he has a point. Maybe this is growth. And then you go into even further, and now like, oh, I'm getting into film. Oh, I'm getting into like animation, all this stuff. And it's like, okay, well, here's an entire album that's like a hidden story with Igor. And then here's me now doing hard rap to bring you back in with Call Me If You Get Lost. And it's just constantly developing. And it opened my mind. And now I'm open to listening to so much more than just hip hop. It took him making Flower Boy to have me go back and start listening to older artists, and even go back and re-listen to artists I haven't listened to in a while. He was a big reason why I went back to like, because I love Gorillas. Shit, I'm doing a whole series right now on Gorillas. We're gonna do a whole like all the albums. That's the goal. So it's like he made me go back, and I was like, God, I love these albums. Plastic Beach is like a top three album of all time for me. I love it. And it's like, oh man. And then I started getting into like heavier stuff with like Bobby Womack. And like, oh, I'm gonna go properly listen to Stevie Wonder real quick. Oh, I'm gonna go.
Mm.
And then I got into Caroline Polachek in like the last like year and a half. So it's like, it's let me develop in this way where I'm like, okay, there's more. Like,
Mm.
this is growth. Just grow with it. Grow with the music. Grow with your personal like endeavors and the things you like. So my whole journey with this has just been, it's been perfectly timed. And I was just like, all right, you guess what? You're entering high school, enjoy this album. And I was like, oh shit, you're right. I did enjoy that album. You're right.
He's a
And that
great
just,
starter pack artist for a lot of young men. Like for that reason specifically. Like one, just like kind of reeling him in with the edgy stuff that like, and then like, oh, guess what? I'm gay. Just like doing that, and like kind of like working through like, but then also like the music nerdery stuff. Like you can live in the Tyler world, like and just enjoy it in isolation, but it also his musical nerdery, like can is very inspirational to like venture out of like what you've known, and like that's what and this album is like also very, he says it's like he keeps like downplaying this album like kind of intentionally. I think he's like kind of saying like he's like, guess what, that LL Cool J thing, not intentional. Guess what, that ludicrous thing, with his arms, like that's not intentional at all. I didn't mean that. You're dumb, you're stupid. And that tap the phone thing, that I shut the fuck up, you loser. Like, but like I think he's also, this album is preserving hip hop history too. Like it's doing that while it's like kind of just a album he farted out like while he was on tour. Like it's why it's nuts. But yeah, yeah. Let's talk about this album though. Let's talk about like this album. I could go first or someone else go first. Like what do you want to do?
What you said there, like, because I listened to the Hot 97 interview, and it really made me feel uncomfortable with our recording because he's trying so hard to be like, listen, you motherfuckers, do not do the dissect thing. Shout out to Cole.
Yeah.
Like, do not dissect this. Don't look too much into it. Don't try to compare this shit. Don't try to overanalyze it. It's like I just was like you said, I was taking a shit on tour and thought, oh my God, this beat's so sick. Let me just dance to this. Do not make it more than it is. And it's like, and now we're gonna make it more than it is. But it is more than it is. It totally is. Shout out to Cole. It really is dissectable. And so it's like awkward to be like, no, Tyler, you sit your ass down. You don't know what you're talking about, your own art. We're going to talk about it, but there is a lot to talk about. And I think that's where I wanted to leave it at. So, Andrew, tell us what this album is about.
Yeah, like I think my framing device for this album is like, there's the rules in the album, like body movement, only speaking glory, leave your baggage at the door, don't tap the glass. And like, if this is an album about like freedom and just like shooting from the hip and just sort of like letting go of your inhibitions and just like dancing and letting go of like perception and like, um, being recorded and stuff like that, why are there rules? Why are there rules at the beginning of the album? And I think one of the most common motifs in the album is like, people are really weird, bro. Like people are weird. Like people are like they're weird. And like they fit like to celebrities in particular, but also to it. Then it extends to people. Like it just extends to civilians, like people like the people at the Coldplay concert, like because of like cameras everywhere, like that became a viral moment, and everyone like made jokes about it for like 2 days. But like and to be on the other side of it must feel awful. Like, so like to imagine like a celebrity dealing with that every day is like, so like it's, like fans violate boundaries all the time. Like, they kind of make assumptions and like make narratives about your life that you're leading when they don't know you. Like the Chapel Roan is talking about that a lot. Like, like just because I am a famous artist doesn't mean it's okay to harass me. It doesn't mean it's okay to stalk me. It doesn't mean it's okay to, doesn't mean I want it. Doesn't mean I like it. Doesn't mean I asked for it. So like people are weird. Like people are weird, and like, but it's also like kind of not the fans' fault on some level, because that's just how society is. And also the rules are kind of unclear. The rules aren't defined all the time. And also like this just like this made me kind of like thinking about this made me pontificate on the nature of rules themselves, of like how um their written rules and their unwritten rules, and then you have to read between the lines. Like at my workplace, there's a written rule that says you can't have logos on your shirts, but my director said, it's fine as long as the words aren't offensive and it's professional on some level. But like who so like they contradicted the written rule. So like, and then who dictates what is professional, who dictates what is like offensive, and then also like if no one enforces the rule, is it a rule anymore? Or if everyone else like breaks the rule and no one like and like they forget to enforce it one time, does it stop being a rule? Like, like you want to like have a society where people can um, rely on their self control and willpower to like kind of govern themselves, but there can just be one bad actor who could ruin it for everybody. So it's like, so it's hard. Like it's like, so like I think this album is like, so he's setting these rules so that to like provide a framework and and a context for this experience, protect the space from bad actors, make the rules clear for good actors, and it's also to keep things sacred, like keep dance sacred, keep his culture sacred, keep his artistry and his narrative sacred, because if you want to keep something sacred, then you have to be authoritative with your rules. You have to be authoritative with your boundaries. Otherwise, people are just, especially if you're one man against like an army of stands and an army or a government or anything like this. So, That's just one thought I had.
Or an army of people who are too cool to engage with it enough to move their bodies. I think a very I don't know, kind of an offshoot from what you were saying. I went on a kind of vacation sprint, and part of that was going on a cruise. And I did hit the club, and
Wow.
I was just there kind of doing like the stand and like nod my head thing, but everyone was doing the stand and nod your head thing and just standing on the outside of the dance floor while like two people were like being weird, but not weird. They were doing what if the framework is like a club and there's a dance floor, then the rule is to dance. But everyone else was like, no, too cool to do that thing that we're all supposedly here for. So yeah, I don't know. And just like, obviously there's the kind of social media, phone addiction, attention economy conversation that we could have in relation to this, but I think, don't tap the glass, like stop scrolling, you know what I mean? Like just move your fucking body. Even I personally feel like I'm a little out of touch with like movement, and like I used to love to dance and groove and just like party it up and have a good time, and like this is a nice reminder to like stop being so fucking pretentious. Like everything is not so serious. This album is not even serious. Just fucking groove, you know what I mean? So yeah.
I agree with that. I think it's really rules as reminders because we've forgotten how to communally enjoy music. Because the music, I think, like when you're in isolation, the lyrics and the sounds allow you to feel an emotion that then brings you to a place of healing or a place of discovery and whatnot. But music communally is supposed to be just sharing movement. That's all it's supposed to be. When you go to a concert, you're supposed to just like move and scream and dance. You're not supposed to record it and ensure that you get the right clip that you can post the next day, right? So that's the not tapping at the glass. But also, like my buddy used to DJ, shout out to Liban, and when he DJ'd, he hated when people tapped the DJ booth and was like, "Hey, can you play this song? Oh, can you play this next?" He just like shut the fuck up and go dance because I know what I'm doing. I have a plan to allow you to have the most maximal night of your life. And if you could just let me do that,
Yeah, let it
then you
rock.
will enjoy the shit out of it. And Tyler's telling us with these rules, like, just move your body and I promise you, you're going to have the best 28 minutes of your life. And it continuously reminds you, like, don't tap the glass throughout the whole thing. And when you tap the glass, you're fucking weird, bro. Like, you look fucking weird because it is weird when you're driving. Like, I was driving today listening to this, and like, I'm like doing like all this, like, ring, 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 ring. Like, and like people are at the stop, like, kind of, what's wrong with this guy? But it's a really awesome reminder that, like, when you move, it's infectious. It's like a smile, right? Like a smile is so infectious, and we've forgotten how to smile, and we certainly have forgotten how to move. And that's why I appreciate this album so much to remind me, like John, I'm like you, man. I used to hit up the club and everything. Now I'm like, I know I'd rather just listen to a podcast and go to bed at 9 p.m. maybe read a book.
Facts,
That's what I want to do. But I forget that like
Snap
there's a wicked picture on my Instagram. If y'all want to follow me, I might give you a follow back. I don't
a
know.
said.
Where I'm at this wedding and I'm doing like this because I'm at this. There was this Michael Jackson song playing, and I'm in the middle of the dance floor, and everyone's just watching. I'm just like freely dancing because nobody else was wanting to do that, and I forgot that that is the nature of us. Like we are supposed to be mobile creatures that lurk in sound. And I think that Tyler reminds us of that. And that's why the rules are so important because otherwise we wouldn't do it. We would just tap the glass.
We're supposed to like celebrate life. Like that's what you were doing, like just music in of itself. And then like you were at a wedding, you were celebrating the love of your loved ones. Like,
Hmm.
yeah. But
Even to
Sorcerer, yeah.
build off that, like, I didn't even think of the whole tapping the DJ booth thing. That's such a intrinsic thing that you just popped up. And then I was like, well, hang on.
because even like in the promo material for when he was doing his shows, he put himself in a box, right? He put himself in the glass box, and it's like, don't tap it. And like you said, let those 28, let those 30, let that hour album run. I know what I'm doing. Just let me ride, enjoy it. And it just reminded me, I'm like, I'm not a big dancer. I'm a head bobber. I'll sway, I'll move, I'll do whatever. My girlfriend V, on the other hand, barely moves at all. When we were at Flog Now that first year, I was like, I was behind her when Denzel was on stage and I was fucking moving and I was singing and she was just locked in. And after I was like, "Did you like that?" And she's like, "Yeah, it was good." And I was like, "I couldn't tell." And she was like, "Well, I don't move. I don't." I'm like, "Why don't you like? You don't even bob your head?" I was like, "You don't just get with the beat and just flow with it. You don't do any of this." She's like, "No, I just I just watch the show." And I'm like, "All right, damn." And then in the last couple weeks, she's been like bobbing her head, and I'm like, I see that. And I'll call her out for it. And it just keeps reminding me, I'm like, I don't dance. I need to start moving more. And it's like, and even at Flog Now again, they had YG come out during the mustard set. There was a couple that just walked perfectly into our frame when we were standing there enjoying him, and they just started busting down in front of us. And she was like, yo. And we were just like watching them dance. She was like, that's fun. I like that. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, neither of us are doing that though. Let's do that then. Let's have fun. Let's dance. Let's move around. Who gives a shit? We're all here to enjoy the music. I'm here. I'm listening to YG right now. I'm trying to dance. I'm like, dance with me, make me feel comfortable with you. I'm like, I don't want to leave you out and make you feel embarrassed. I want to make sure you also feel this good. So
Mm.
it's like all of this just
Oh.
reminds me of like, yeah, you know what? Maybe you're right. You just don't tap the DJ booth. Don't annoy me. I know what I'm doing. I'm giving you exactly what I produced, what I made for you to enjoy. If you mess with it, it's not gonna be as good. It's like a really high like restaurant, fine dining, where it's like, hey, we don't take order requests. This is exactly how the chef wants you to try it. And then you eat and you're like, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
He
And you
knew what
don't
he was doing.
you don't have any excuses because this is not 21 tracks. It's only 10
Yeah.
tracks. So you can do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like that kind of dance movement. It's like I know when I go to Flogna this year, I'm gonna make sure I move. I'm
Yeah.
gonna make sure I'm going. I have to.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's easy to like let yourself kind of stiffen up, like like if you're not reminded. Like I remember going to Rest in Peace, the Pitchfork Festival, like in 2022, and I was just like dancing. I was there by myself. I didn't bring anyone. I was just like, I found a little patch of grass. I started just dancing to all the artists, and like I made friends that way. And then a year later, I just like I couldn't do that. Like I was just like on my at my computer too much and like I couldn't or I just like lost a lot of flexibility and like I'm going to dance classes every week like just like to have fun again to kind of loosen up and everything but like it's so easy to like kind of stiffen up, it's so easy to kind of just like um lose social skills because of the internet and all that stuff, so yeah.
And it's intimidating, and like technique is not required. I think that's the big thing about it. It's like sometimes we feel like we need to be technically sound in order to display ourselves publicly. And now that we're reminiscing, I remember I saw Kendrick at a concert at a festival in Montreal, and I'll never forget my little brother and I were rocking to Kendrick, and we're just going wild. And these two girls in front of us were just like, "Can you guys stop?" And we're
Oh,
kind of
Oh,
thinking to
hell
ourselves,
no.
like,
I've
why did you come here? And I should say, like, like if you don't want to dance, you don't have to dance. But if you're going to be in the middle of the dance pit, the mosh pit, and all of a sudden you're kind of like, why are you moving into me? This is meant to be felt, and I'm going to bump into you. And it's not about aggression, it's about connection. And I'm connected to the artists, people around me. And like Andrew, I'm so glad you had that moment because that's what it is, right? Like, it's like, people gravitate towards other people who are displaying an enjoyment of life, and gosh, could we use more of that nowadays? You know what I mean? Like, just like rob ourselves of the purity of humanity by not moving, by not dancing, by not connecting. And I'm just very happy that Tyler's, let's just go to the club. Let's all just go to a nice club, a day club, obviously, not a late night, a day club, and then we can just have a little bit of a dance moment. You know what I mean? Like,
no more
that's my goal for
podcasts.
this weekend.
No more,
No more
please.
podcasts.
Like,
Stop talking so much.
um, yeah, I guess like what was I gonna say? I just like some stray thoughts. Like like kind of stray like themes, I guess, is like the way he uses his voice to sort of the way he uses his voice and the production to sort of uh, accomplish the mission statement of the album. Is like he has a few voices in this album. Like he has his deep rap voice, like which is like brimming with gravel and bravado, like his speak kind of speaking rapping voice, and like then he has like the robot voice, like which is very authoritative, like kind of just like don't tap the glass and like setting an intention, setting a statement. It's kind of like peppered in throughout the album, and then there's like his Loiter Squad voice, where he kind of like is goofy and like playful and not like funny per se, but just kind of like bro, get your funky in the tub and like kind of like that. Like that's not a joke. It's not like it's not. I don't know what that's a reference to even, but like it's just like kind of humorous and light and like kind of like just like kind of takes the air out of like the seriousness of it all. And like the production, the way he uses production, it's like he's stunting like his breadth of musical knowledge, like of like the Johnny Greenwood like sample and then like the Busta Rhymes sample at the beginning that in the first song, like putting them together is so cool. And like having Pharrell on that song too, like they're also like stunting their luxury, like and their happiness, and like they're stunting their like I never heard of Yellow Diamonds until Clips and like this album. I've never even heard of that. Like I'm just like trying to get the latest New Balances like for myself, like that are like $200. That's the luxury I enjoy. But then he has this falsetto, which is like the most vulnerable thing I've ever heard. Like the way he uses his falsetto is like the most. So like there's this assuredness, confidence of his like gravelly rap voice, and then there's this like um Mama, I'm a millionaire. Like and like this must have been like singing lessons. This must have been like this is what he got. This is what he's got. Like he's just like if he was able to do better, I think he would. But like he's just like really putting himself out there. And I think there's kind of like when he does his falsetto, like there's like this I'm like, uh-oh, will I land on my 2 feet here? Like, will this person answer my phone call? Will I find love again? You know, I think that's like, so he kind of covers it up with like the braggadocio and like the deep gravelly voice and the production and like crafting his own narrative and all that stuff. So it's still he kind of breaks his own rule. He breaks rule number 2 by the last song. Like he's bringing his baggage into the dance floor a little bit and making us dance to it. So that's what do you think of that? Wow.
I agree. I agree with breaking the rule. I think though, like if I go back to my clubbing days, like if the lights are on and you wanted to connect with someone and you didn't get a chance to connect with that person, and or all your friends are no longer at the same club as you are, and you kind of look around, you're like, tell me what it is. It's like, you're kind of like you're kind of lost a bit. Like I can see how that moment would evoke a bit of introspective baggage bringing kind of vibe, but only at the end. So it's kind of like the Charlie episode where we're like, oh, like if this is a club night, it's so the last thing you want is your friend in the bathroom at 10 p.m. like crying already, where you're like, yo, we just got here, like why are you killing the vibe? But because it's towards the end of the album or right at the end of the album, I think it's okay to tap the glass a little bit at that point if you are so exhausted from dancing for 25 minutes that you kind of like need this like emotional kind of pause. I forgive him for breaking the rule, but he broke the rule
Mhm.
100%.
Could also be calling the Uber at that point, like the party's over, like
Yeah.
it really does give like the lights are up vibes. Time to
Yes,
go home.
yeah. Maybe he meant to sing, tell me where it is, like where it is, as in where's the Uber?
Yeah, just based on that, I don't even feel like it's calling Uber based on the song. He's like, "Mom, come pick me up. It's over." The last song
Come,
just
call my
dropped.
mama.
Light,
Like, just pick me up.
they're putting lights on. I gotta go. They're closing. I'm not. I don't want to be outside. I'm scared.
But it's like Christina on our Chroma Killby episode, fantastic episode, check it out. It's like she talks about like how the way he expresses vulnerability is like the class clown trying out vulnerability for a first time and then like going like this is too scared. This is like then like going back to a joke like right after like like damn, my mom, lied about my dad's existence, like his role in my life, my entire life. I just know now. Like just like ring, 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 ring,
Honk
ring. Pick up
honk.
the phone. Yeah, like you got like it's getting sticky. Like kind of like it's like um there's a lot of defense mechanisms in this album too. Like, just like the insistence that this album's about nothing is very much a defense mechanism. Like the use of humor is a defense mechanism. Like his building a world, is kind of a defense mechanism. Building your narrative, building a world, being such a great artist is kind of like people if it was just like a weird guy who wasn't talented, would we like paid this much attention to him? Like probably maybe not. So yeah, I'm talking a lot. Um
No,
Fine,
it's
I'll
good shit
take
though.
over. Big Poe fucks.
yeah, let's go to highlight songs.
Yeah,
I'll
let's
do it.
do it. Let's do
I'll
it.
take. Don't worry, I got you, Andrew. I
Yeah.
got you. Big Poe bangs. I love that sample of Busta Rhymes. I love the Rock Shy Benzer sample. It is the perfect song to open the album with of being after being like, "You better move, bitch," and then you're like, "Okay, okay, okay, hey, hey." And you're, oh shit, I get it. He did it. It's so good.
Mhm. Very immediate. Like it tells you
Yeah.
exactly what it is first 10 seconds.
Yeah, that bus rhyme sample for me is just oh gosh,
Don't
It was
it's
make the baby
so
wanna
good, man. It's just yeah, you can't help but doing if you're watching what John's doing.
Yeah, throw your
It's
hands
so
up.
true, and you
oh.
have to. You just have to. It's and you're right, man. That album opener is perfection.
It was so
Perfection.
seamless. Like, man, this is really good. Something crazy. Don't this shit. Like it was such a like a clean like slide it in. Everybody's like, oh, it was so hard. I was like, oh my God, this is great.
I'm Big Pow. It's such a silly delivery too.
I'm
I'm
Big
Big
Pow.
Pow. But
God,
it's like so good. Like there's like such a like ownership over like the flow, but then he just like lobs in these little like comedic bits and even like Pharrell's verse on this is like a little silly too with like how he's delivered it. But yeah, Big Poe is so urgent and like I don't know, just such a great opener.
it's also such a unique Pharrell flow. Like it took me a second to land on that being him. Like I was like, is that Pharrell? I think it's Pharrell. And I was like, yeah, I think that's Pharrell. And then he said something else. And I was like, and then the feature popped up and it says what was it, Skaterbird? I think it is. And I was like, I was like, I don't know Pharrell like that. Whoa. And then I started looking at it, I was like, oh, okay, it is Pharrell. But I was like, oh my God, dude. I'm like, you open an album with this hype jump track, you slid Pharrell into it. It's got a Busta Rhyme like, oh, it was just like the perfect roundabout of like, here's what's gonna happen, get ready. And this was like perfectly after I listened to POV on Clips. And when he announced like the album, I was like, man, I really hope he's coming with that like aggressive energy because that's energy I love from him,
Mhm.
especially with his vocal range. Like that aggression is so nice. And then when I heard that, I was like, oh, we're not doing that. We're getting a whole other thing. I get to hear a different Tyler again.
Mhm.
Okay. And I'm all in. I still really want to hear more POV Tyler though. That
Mhm.
was so clean.
POV, you're listening to Tyler and you're enjoying yourself. Like, we just made a viral TikTok just now. But
If
like,
only.
it's also like I like the Marvel, stage four of it all with like kind of the interconnected web of like characters like Pharrell, Clips, Kendrick. LeBron is in there somewhere. Like, he's like Eternals or whatever. Like LeBron is Eternal. I couldn't think of a thing.
It's evil.
like like yeah, like there's kind of like this like interconnected web of like we're all kind of like we're trying to build an infrastructure of the culture, whatever it is, like, and these are the key players. These are the key players. Jid is involved too. Yeah, I think that's kind of cool. Yeah. um my highlight is sugar on my tongue. Like sugar on my tongue. That's like, it's I love the video. It's so incredible. It's shot on film. Like the way like they must have edited it too. Like they had to like cut everything up to like have it all like kind of where they like cut the crowd, jumping up and down and such. Like, and it's very substance coded. The colors are awesome. It's a good DJ Khaled diss. Like it's a good like because DJ Khaled was all like, woman should praise the man, the king, and like, and then Charlemagne's like, but she's your queen, and he's like, I don't do that. It's just like it's also like there's so many straight people who hate women. They hate them so much, and like, why? How are you straight if you like dislike pleasing women so much, and dislike the concept of women or like their autonomy and like their dignity and such, or their pleasure, so much. It's so weird. Like that's weird.
This song is the definition. I said it on my episode of you. I was like, this is what he wanted to do for Dogtooth, 100%. This is just Dogtooth the sequel. She gonna
Dog
ride my
too?
face. Dogtooth. Yeah, it's like it's literally it's so lustful. It's so loving in a sexual way. Like I think it's sick as hell that we get like Tyler doing this, and then you could turn around and go listen to Tears from Sabrina Carpenter
Mhm.
and be like, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I know we're wrong. And like her and him could be like, yep, we get it. We all in together. We know. It's all right. So it's
The
like you got
Arnold
that spectrum.
Schwarzenegger, like
Yeah,
Carl
it's like
Weathers meme. Just
boom.
like,
It's like you have such a spectrum of this kind of music, and like Sugar on My Tongue is such a specific like hit of it. And like even
Mhm.
like the idea of like being, because like you go back, I would say like if you will reference The Weeknd, like he's got a couple songs where he's like, why'd you tell your friends how good I am? Now my phone's blowing up. And Tyler's over here like, tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your friends. I fucked her friend, and her dude. I don't give a fuck. Like it's perfect. And I love that energy. And I'm a big synth guy. So you got that like all,
Yeah.
oh, it's
The production on Sugar on My Tongue is
beautiful.
out of this world.
So fun. I love it.
It's so retro and yet feels rooted in the now. I don't know. That's a fine balance to toe, like paying homage, but then like keeping it fresh. And yeah, I don't, he did say he wanted to keep everything very simple, just like drums, like a melody, and like where we're going, but it stands out as a highlight for me as well, production wise.
It's orgasmic. That's what it is.
Hey,
There's a perfect build up. The beat is like consistent. There's like a almost like a marathon to it where it's like, you better keep your pace up, and then once that explosion happens, just like like all that stuff, like it's just, I mean, it's very, very trippy. It's fire, man. Like it's so cool that one of the coolest artists is able to do this.
and speaking of Marvel universe of characters, kind of reminds me of the Dream a little bit.
Wow.
Like it does, like that production. If y'all got to tap in,
Sure,
but
sure.
like Love King or Love Hate, both of those two albums, like this production is very close to like what he's doing on that. And maybe he was the low light on Let God Sort Him Out, but hey, I'm hearing it here.
Hmm. Yes, shout out to the Dream. Like, I know we kind of shit on him on our episode, but I mean,
And
the
that
Dream is
know. That's definitely like a background vocal that I feel like he would do too.
You can't forget, I'll
100%.
eat you up. That is a crazy like throw-in line. Like, right? Like if you didn't know what I was talking about yet, I'll eat you up. I don't need to breathe. It's like he's staring across the club and like every time the line pops up, he's like,
You, you
I'm
over there.
talking to you. And it's like he's getting aggressive and she's like, won't leave me alone. Like it's such a fun I love it. It's one of the high points for me.
it's
And it was immediately a hit, I think, for everybody.
Yeah, and hopefully
Mm.
this isn't blasphemous, but it's very Princey of like there's
Oh
like
yeah,
the
yeah,
way he's like
100%.
there's the scary yet seductive seduction of it all. Like this song's a little scary too, like like in a like a kind of vibes way. It's like there's a little bit of a fright. The music video
Some
looks,
menace.
yeah, the
Like
music video
some.
looks like the substance a little bit. Yeah, like it's really cool. Yeah, John, what's a highlight for you though? Like, what's another one?
This is so hard, you all. It's so hard. Why don't I throw it to the tail end of the album and say, "Don't you worry, baby." It's just so. I mean, hey, JID skate music. This feels like a roller rink jam, but like I'm here with my cutie and like we're just having like the most fun. This is one where in terms of like don't tap the glass and just like finding the vibe and finding the rhythm, this is one that I really just want to like put on one of my playlists and just jam around the house too. And Madison McFerrin, shout out to her, like her sultry kind of smooth vocals over the course of that track is so nice. And yeah, just like laid back and such a uplifting semi-romantic vibe. Yeah, love that track. It's not
I
even
think
like
it
that deep.
pairs. Yeah, I think it pairs really well with Sugar on My Tongue because it's almost like, and this is for the guys that are listening, you know, if you treat your woman really, really well, like all she wants to do is treat you as well, if not better. So once you got that sugar on your tongue, like she's telling you, like, don't you worry, baby, I'm gonna give it to you. Like there's a beautiful exchange here, and it only requires just a little bit of effort and time and attention and a little bit of
And
sweat
knowledge.
and knowledge.
Skill.
And then you're gonna get like that amazing ATL movie moment, right? Like, and he was saying how he was listening and watching ATL a lot, and like this is it, right? It's the roller rink, you're cruising with your girl, and you're just having the best date night possible. And she sounds, I don't know, Madison McFerrin like that. Like she just hits this perfectly. Like it's just a perfect um combination. So yeah, dope track.
This and then the following track with "I'll Take Care of You" is the definition of
Yeah.
aftercare. This is aftercare music. It's the kind of shit you put on. You're both laid out, and you're just like, put that shit on. Like it's great.
Stanley
It's
did the
amazing.
Salt Bay.
Uh,
Boom.
no,
I
no,
was
I did the
I was
RuPaul. I did the RuPaul. Like, yes, I
Oh,
approve.
okay.
Yes.
I love it. Like you said, Master McFerrin is great. He might as well have just given her the whole song. Like it is her song through and through with some Tyler production. You got him on the backing going, damn girl, you better move your hips. And it's
I
not overly
love that. I
repetitive.
love that.
It's
I
so
love that.
clean. It's so smooth. It's like you think it would get like, okay, he's no, it's perfect.
No,
And
it's the
it's
perfect.
I think it's perfect because it's right underneath the instrumental. It feels like another instrument. It doesn't feel like, hey, here's my vocals. No, no, no. I'm gonna slip it under. So it's very subtle. You got a little bit of a robot tone on it, a little bit of noise, and it's just so
It
clean.
just stays so true to the premise of simplicity over across this whole thing. It's just like we don't have to overthink anything. Like, let's just get this hi-hat running. It's gonna do the same meter the whole time.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know. When you find a groove, it's okay to just ride it.
Yeah. And like also like he spent so much time with Chromacopia and like he was like very much like okay, I got this element, I got this element. Yubba's vocals came in, and I did this, and I had some drums. You know what? I'm like, should I do the cherry bomb vocal, the bomb drums? Yeah, I'll do it. And they did it, and it was like, then I'm done. Like, I don't need to add another verse to it. Like, he was very inspired by Stevie Wonder, like not putting his vocals on top of the Yebba song, like kind of just like very like, why would I ruin? Why would I add too many elements to that? That's such a good reminder as an artist too of like, when I 5, 10 years ago, I was like working on an animated web series, and I was working on it for like 6 years straight. I was like trying to perfect it, and looking back, it only reached like a certain level of quality. So like, I should have just like released it after like 2 years. Like, I should have just like put it out there and just like, it's as good as it is. Now I'm gonna move on to the next thing instead of like being so precious about this thing. You know.
Yeah, the don't overthink shit. I mean, that's we haven't talked about him at all, but that's very much like the core belief of like Kenny Beats, one of Vince Staples' go-to producers, and just any time that an artist can kind of do that and just like be free to just be uninhibited and not overly precious, the results can be quite astounding.
Shout out to that album Louis,
Yeah.
by the way. It's fantastic. Like,
Mm-hmm. Love
Yeah,
that.
and that only works if you put in the hours
That's
beforehand,
true. Yeah.
right? Because then you almost it's a muscle memory, so you're not really thinking like if this is just like, okay, this is my first kind of project or for there may be some thought that needs to go into it, but I think he's reached a level now where like he said, like he like spent so much time with chromacopia that's like I don't need to overthink things. I know my shit's good. Like,
Yep.
like there's nothing that this album could do that will remove the greatness of, these last 10 years. So it's like it's very freeing. Um, can we talk about Sucker Free?
yeah,
Speaking of freeing,
yeah.
because I'm that guy. I just that
That
shit makes me want to dance. Yes, John. Yeah.
that.
I'm like, yo, John, this is your track, right? Like
It
this is the
is.
track.
I'm
Yes,
gonna
it is.
I'm gonna do that. I'm taking that bed. Yo,
That
you
shit.
already
That
know,
shit is
Stanley.
I mean, like, especially when you get older, like you just need a song you can like bounce to. Like this is the song you can like, yeah, I can save my knees, for golf the next day if I just listen to this 24/7. And I've been listening to this 24/7 because it's just perfect. It just sounds like LA. It sounds like a fun, cookout. It just sounds like life. It sounds like life when there are no worries, there are no political conversations that offend every single person on every political aisle. It's just like, hey, you're a human, I'm a human. Let's just be humans and bounce to this shit because I'm that guy and you're that guy too. You
Yeah.
know, it's so fire.
He says like, why are you doing all this gang talk? Like, you're a good guy. Like it's such a funny line. But it's also like, yeah, it's like what we're talking about with the previous song of like how um the effortlessness comes from 10 years of like efforts, like really, really hard efforts. And then like the joy that comes from this song is like about like how he worked through his sexuality in Flower Boy. He worked through some of these breakups in Igor and Call Me to Get You Lost. Like he worked in Flower Boy. Like he worked through his mother issues on Chromacopia. So it's like he can enjoy the 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 fruits of his labor. And then this is also like why he's setting the boundaries is because this is so precious. This is so wonderful that you have to like put your guard up against like weirdos. Like you got to like um or just like yeah.
It's a confidence song. I love it. It's so fun. I specifically, it's like each song has like a specific piece that I'm like, that's just that tickles the brain, right? And for me, it's that I'm a big fan of vocoders
Oh
and like
yeah.
melodica and like vocal. So that whole thing, I've been waiting, 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 I've been waiting on you.
Yeah.
It's clean. I love it. I'm a big fan of that. There's a whole band that I love that does it, TWRP, Tupperware Remix Party Twerp. Love them. Got to see them in concert too. They bang. But like that's like their whole thing. So when I heard it, I was like, oh fuck, I'm in.
Yeah.
This is it.
But so Cali is so
It's so Cali.
Cali. Like,
California love, bro.
yeah, like
Lift that vocoder in there.
he wasn't
Clean.
what'd you say, Andrew? He wasn't like trying to do all of these homages to like olden hip hop, but it's just like part of who he is. It's like you can't escape it, and like that's a very clear example of that. Like that's time tested right there, the Cali like talk box track, you know.
So good, man.
Yeah, like his then I'll just shout out Ring Ring Ring. Like that's just such a yeah, I think that should have been the summer song. Like that should have been the summer song. Like forget Ordinary by Alex Warren. Like forget that song. Like like this is what I want to hear on the radio. Like this is such a um it's it's kind of like all the what I was talking about with like his usage of the voice and his usage of production, like kind of all coalescing perfectly. The humor, like kind of the taking the air out of the seriousness of like I want you to I want you like kind of like him doing that and like the melody is like very Quincy Jonesy and like it's actually like apparently it's inspired by the guy who inspired like Michael Jackson got to work on those songs, like it was not just Quincy Jones. So it was like kind of a deeper cut, which is, but yeah. Um, which is just like his melody writing is so good. Like one more time, I pick you up at 5. Like that is so like he knows how to write a song. He knows how to like just construct something so beautiful and also like my final thought on that song is like it kind of harkens back to the 90s in that like the technology too like kind of like who's call first of all who's calling an operator like no like who I haven't even heard of that in like decades like
It's
so
it samples on the way you get down, but
Mhm.
me and V picked up on it immediately. This feels like Saturday Love, and I love that song. It feels so much like it, and it's just it's so nice. It's just it's hard to like say what I love because like everybody said how much they love it. This is V's like favorite song off the album, so I hear it all the time. She even has the fucking I love you" as her ringtone for me right now, which I think is sick as fuck. But like I
aw.
love that, and that's like again that's that part where it's like that's the part that I'm always gonna remember. I love that breakdown right at the end with the I love you. It's so nice, it's so clean. But like the whole thing, I hope you good, I hope you well, I hope you well. I miss your lip. It's so fun. Like it's got such a specific vibe. And like you said, like who's calling an operator? It's calling back to those songs, Smooth Operator. You got Operator by there's a bunch of songs called Operator, actually. I don't even know why I'm trying to figure out who I'm thinking of right now. But like even like Telephone Man from New Edition. Like that like kind of stuff. It's like so specifically ingrained in like this kind of music. So it's like whether he intentionally was like, I'm gonna make this that, or he was just like, no, bro, this is just what he likes. And it just so happened it fit what he was doing. So I'm gonna make a song about a phone. I'm the operator, can you pick that phone, Paramount? What's going on? Like that. Like it's so good. And it's so smooth. It should have been the song of summer. It was song of summer for me. I'm just gonna let that ride out. Like, so I think this is easily is it my favorite? Arguably. Do I think it's the best track on the album? I would say so.
Hmm.
Wow.
Lowlights, let's talk about lowlights. Any lowlights of this?
Mom and them.
Yeah, I was gonna caveat the low light section with I think the low lights exist in order to get you into like the bread and butter. Like endorse Sorcerer's Mom and Nim, but without that little stop down, stop playing with me does not rev
Mhm.
up in the same way. It's like I listen to it, I'm like, get it out, spit it out. I'm like, okay, yeah, yeah. But we don't have like any beat, we don't have anything really going on. So when stop playing with you hits, oh, stop playing with me. Like it's so important. I think the placement of Mob is so important, and I almost oh no, never mind. I'll save that. I'll save it.
So I 100% agree with that. And that's where I was getting to. Outside of the album, it would just if you're not listening to it in track list order and you get Mom and Them, it is like such a building song that you don't build to if you don't already have Stop Playing With Me put up next. So it's like it keeps building, and then you're just like, oh, and then nothing happens, and you're like, fuck. So that's like my biggest problem with it. But it does have one of my favorite things of the album, which is that random heavy guitar riff that just and I'm like, oh my God. Like it scared the hell out of me the first time I heard it. I was like, yeah. And I was like, ooh, I love that. That jarring hit is just so it knocks you and wakes you up and you're like, whoa, what's gonna happen? And then, like you said, that buildup is happening to hit Stop Playing With Me. I think that riff, that perfect like hard hit is fully needed too. You get rid of that, you just have that build, but it's like, oh, okay. That hit wakes you up and you're like, oh shit. Oh no. It's like Godzilla's walking towards
Yeah,
you and
we
you're like,
revving
oh,
up.
oh God, something's coming. Something's coming. And then boom, when I get to snapping like doo-wop, and it's like, oh shit.
Um, this isn't a low light, but I just want to shout out that line, coming out the blue like nude cop, which is like such a like that's a joke I would make. Like that's a joke I would say it on the podcast. I'm coming out the blue like a nude cop. Like it's just like that's and everyone would like go boo, not good. And then but in this is awesome, like
That's the type of joke you say before, and then you hear him say on stage, and it was like, yeah, and you're like, I just said that. You guys didn't like it.
Uh, any other lowlights though? Like, there's not a lot for me. Like, I think just I'll take care of you and what's the other one? Just like no, that's not a low light. I'm just saying like don't worry, baby. It's kind of double beat, like kind of just like the same type of song. But they're so good that I forgive it. Like I'm like I already heard this, and then I hear it the next song. I'm like this is fantastic. I love it. It's just the all the elements are so awesome together.
Personally, I like I'll Take Care of You more than Don't Worry.
Mm.
I think that's some of my favorite production I've heard Tyler do. And then him also taking this song that's similar to Don't Worry, Baby, and then slipping in the Nuck If You Buck sample. That's just
Mm.
crazy to me. I was like, yo, how'd you make this so beautiful? It's so good. That's number two for me.
Yeah, I know we were trying to slip it into the low lights, but I would round back to highlights. I feel like
We
I'll
ain't
take
going
care
down.
of
We ain't
is,
going down.
is one for me as well. But no, revert it back. Can I keep spitting or
Yo, just
Stanley,
do
you
it,
want to
yeah,
hop
yeah.
in there?
Yeah.
Um, I think Don't Tap That Glass is like the water break for everybody who can't stay on the dance floor. It's like the hardcore people are like, hey, I'm still shaking that ass. But for some of us, hold up. I gotta take a break real quick. Yeah, I had that as a low light just because I, I don't know if I need a New Orleans bounce from Tyler. I think he does it well. I just don't know if I need it. But at the same time, similar to Mom and them, I think the peak and like the like kind of urgency and hypeness of that really like juxtaposes contrasts the Don't Worry Baby, I'll Take You There, like the end section. So similarly, I'm like I'm perfectly fine that that exists because we need that to finish the album out. But personally, Don't Tap That Glass is a minor low light for me.
I think I had like the
Yeah.
most disrespectful like line on the album when he says Michael Jordan eyes neck yellow look like Bing Bao. Like let MJ live, man. Like I know we all know, but come on, man. Like he's a goat. Like we don't have to like reference, the shot. But anyway, that was like a little bit of a low light in that like there are no low lights on this album. So it's like sure we can make it a low light. But I like that
Ah,
framing of like, hey, you need a water break, go get your water break, and then bitch, I'm tweaking. You're
I
like, oh shit,
love that
okay.
song. Oh
Yeah.
Let's just
that's
get this
that's the
water
flood
quick.
in. That's the flood back
Yeah,
We're
in.
yeah,
back.
flooding
yeah,
We're
back
yeah.
in.
back.
Yeah. You're stuck. I really love when artists breathe. Like the child, like for me, Challenge is the best breathing artist on record. But Tyler is so good at it too. Like that, you're just like, man, like I just got to keep going, otherwise I'm gonna pass out for real. So that
That
tweaking is so good.
that is it for me. That is my favorite. This song, that's exactly why I'm like, this is my favorite song on the album. I love Tweaking, and I specifically, that's that one part I constantly, if I could listen to one thing my entire life, is that slow breakdown. And like, boom, like, oh, it's ooh, I'm sweating. It's so good. Like it makes me so happy. And then just finally catch your breath, bitch. Catch your breath. It's like, oh, I already did, man. Like, ah, it's so fun.
Yeah.
I love it. This shit
uh,
gets me hyped.
Mhm.
Stray observations. One is just he did this in the middle of the Chromacopia tour, like ridiculous, like just conceived, did all the promo material, like some of the music videos while he was on tour. Like it's and like those tours are like those are like Broadway show level intensities of like just you have to hit your marks, you have to like be physically and mentally like fit to like do those shows like like your acumen has to be so sharp. So it's just like just really speaks to his talent. But I also like suspect like there's that John Mulaney joke about like goth people where he's like, do goth people ever wake up and go, oh God, I gotta put all that shit on again? Like, so I think it's just like I got like maybe I'll just like wear this red leather jacket and like like these red leather pants and just go outside. Like maybe I don't have to put on this chromacopia like wig, like and mask and everything.
I mean, for me, like this again, he's like in this like his like Yeezus era where it's like when Ye was in that era, he was just making Yeezus. The tour was insane. He was doing all of this like amazing clothing, the shoes, and just the creative power before the other outlet, the family. And I think Tyler is thinking about family a lot, like thinking about his desire to maybe have his own seed. And so this is almost like I have to put all this out now when this energy is still here and fresh and available because who knows? Like what if in a year he's a parent? And like I mean, John, you could speak to how like as much as you might want to go to the club when you have kids, I'm sure you're kind of like, all right, I could go to a club, but I haven't slept in 5 days.
Seriously.
Right? Is that
It's
fair? Is that fair to say?
9:30. It's 9:30. Bed is calling.
You know what I'm saying? So I think he might be aware of that too. So it's like I know I'm on tour and like it's like a lot of work and energy, but I have this thing in me that I need to get out. So it's like it's out now. There's no looking back. If it continues, great. If this era is now a 2 month era or 1 month era or whatever, and it's gone, cool. Like I did it. So I think that is also amazing to see someone be so prolific in so many ways in such a like condensed period of time. It's exhausting to watch, but it's inspiring to watch too. Yeah.
I think that's like a really good thing too with how like the album ends with like tell me what it is. Like we were talking about you guys were talking about the fact of like it feels like he broke the one rule that we like put in, like leave everything at the door, don't bring it in, who cares? But it's kind of like he did the album and then I think by the end of it, it hit him where he's like, man, I'm doing all of this. I could be a parent of the year. I already had that scare last year. That's why I did it on Chroma. And then it brought him back into it now of like, well, hang on, because now do I find love? Do I get this? Am I gonna have this? What's going on? So it's kind of like that Chroma seeped back in over him as he's doing the tour, and he's like, oh man, this could be that slow dance track because all of these you could dance to, you could groove to, big pose hype, and then you get into like I'll take care of you and all. I'll take care of you is like a hype kind of like sway dance that you with and then don't worry, baby, is even more of a kind of more a little slower, but it's still got that like let's just keep going, let's keep going. The night's still young, and then I'll tell you what it is. It's like all right, reality hits back in. Come back whenever you're ready. So I think the club is the perfect analogy for this album, especially with how it ends, and then you take into the context of the Chroma tour, and it's just it's great.
It's also like this album is like it's about freedom, it's about expression, it's about just letting loose. It's also like about being in a cage. It's about being like a zoo animal, like almost like because he's a celebrity, because he's an artist, it's hard for him to be a parent or be a partner. Like it's very hard for him to do it. Like it's like when is he gonna find the dedicated time to like do art and be a parent? Like it's very hard. So and like so there's like some sadness in that. I think it's like the last song of just like um and it's like about like damn, I felt free, but like maybe I'm in a cage at the same time.
Yeah, and it's also very instructive, like he's saying like what he needs. So as you're watching the zoo animal, like the zoo animal doesn't need you to pet it, or it doesn't need you to give like your overpriced like treats that you bought at the gift shop, and you're now wanting to give to the zoo animals. Like no, just love, right? And so what does love look like? If you're a relationship with an artist, love looks like allowing them to be human. Because if you only treat them as the source to your entertainment, then you almost dehumanize them, so they can't go out and just go to like Chuck E. Cheese and do whatever. Like they have to always be wearing that mask that you love so much. So it's kind of like telling us as well, like, yo, there's a transaction here, and I get it, but also there's an ability for me to be, and you don't have the right, like Chaperone was saying, like you don't have the right just because you're consuming my music to then consume me, however you want to. So if you tap the glass and I break through, then I might chop your head off. So just don't tap the glass. Give me love. Let me do my thing, and you will continue to dance. You can always bring it right back. And yeah,
Yeah, understand the boundary
yeah,
between artist and audience member. Like kind of just like the, you're here,
yeah,
you're watching me. I'm in the cage. Don't tap it. Like don't like trying to like enter my world. Otherwise, you might get your head bit off. Um,
yeah,
yeah. Um, yeah, and then like again, like I love the deflation of just like him like the ends in this beautiful chord, and then it's like brow, brow. It's just like it's so funny. It's so
bruh.
oh, it's so makes me laugh.
I'm thinking that voice is probably somebody that's just watching the show. They're just like
Yeah.
standing there. He's like, that was it. We're done. What do you mean it's over?
But any other reservations before we conclude? I actually have something, but any other reservations though? Okay, because like I've actually like this album like really inspired me because like I've been listening to a lot of like Biba Doobie. Like I've been listening to a lot of her like lately. I listened to her album today. It's fantastic. Performative white male and all that such. And yeah, this album like really inspired me to get back into producing, get back into like kind of making music actually. So here I'll share my thing here. So yeah, this is a song I've been working on. So it's kind of like like how you're just like hit with like divine inspiration. And you're just like, oh, I gotta like, oh, I've been listening to Be Badoobie, and then like, oh, what if we put the drums from like Wonderwall over it, and then like the Donkey Kong Country aquatic ambiance synths, and then like the DK rap vocals, and like I just like I was just like it was just like a flurry of inspiration. I was just like this has to be out here right now, and this has to be played loud. This has to be played in the club. Like it's just art is very beautiful in that way. So I just wanted to share this with you. So um, let me know if you can hear it also. Like so.
If you know the words, you can join in too. Put your hands together if you wanna clap as we take you through this monkey rap. He's the leader of the bunch. You know he's the leader. He's finally back.
Don't I double the drum?
Goodbye in the leader. If he shoots you, it's gonna hurt. He's the leader.
Pretty good.
You're pretty good.
I'd buy it.
Yeah. So
Competing stages at Camp Flognaw, maybe.
Okay, I don't know if it was just me. It was so fucking loud. Like I think you talked during it. I did not hear a fucking word. I was like,
My voice is.
I thought you said, dude, John just scared the shit out of me. I thought it got turned back on. Like, actually, holy crap.
So yeah, like yeah, I'm gonna like destroy DJ Rio or whatever their name is. Yeah, like so yeah, that was our episode on Don't Tap the Glass. Let's go through our final thoughts and ratings. The way this works is we'll rate this album out of 10 with a fun metric at the end. How would you rate this?
I'll go first and quick. Great album, great experience. I'm gonna give this 9.5 teaspoons of sugar out
Wow.
of 10.
Yeah, I think it's this. When I first listened to it, I was like, this is pretty good. I'm probably not gonna like this is like probably my least favorite Tyler album. I just like it's a cool side project, but then I like getting to listen to it like it's it's perfect commute length album. Like just like every car ride I get to listen to this like full volume and like, it's just like perfect for that. And it really, really, really grew on me. It's like it's loud, but it's clean. It's loud and it's like it's lots like it's like shooting from the hip, but everything is where it's supposed to be, like perfectly. Um, and I think it's just like an incredible, impressive feat. It's a very replayable album. Um, it's there's some substance here too. So yeah, I'll give it 9 brow out of 10.
Wow. Very nice. I'll hop in here. As you heard at the top of this, I guess I came into this episode as a Tyler skeptic. I don't know. But this album has particularly been enjoyable for me. I've been listening to this, speaking of commutes, while dropping my baby off.
Wow.
It's like perfect length to go back and forth from the youngest one's daycare from like the morning and the afternoon pickup. But anyway, so yeah, I've been enjoying this. Yeah, shout out to artists who, like Stinley said, have done a mastery to a point where they can like let go and then something be as good as this. I think this is the version of Tyler I like the most, perhaps. This and like Igor Tyler. So, I'm gonna keep listening to this even once we're past this episode. So, with that said, I'm gonna give this 8.5 jungle breaks like off I'll Take Care of You out of 10.
No.
This is a this is an interesting thing for me because I'm weirdly gonna have the lowest score, and I'm the biggest
Wow.
Tyler D writer here. Like that, I don't know if that just says something about the fact of how hard I ride for this man as like an artist and as like a person. I find him entertaining. I find his music super fun, and it's such a spectacle to watch happen in the spectrum of identities and things like that. Um, I love the album. I love it. And I have this thing though where it's like I'm not sure what it is, but I'm feeling a good 8 golf wang stickers out of 10. It definitely could go
Nice.
up. I got one on hand. I got one on hand. I got 6 hats back there from Tyler. I got 6 records in my fucking cabinet. I got the damn box. Like I don't know. Something just stops me hard. I think you know what? Let me ponder. Let me steal a pontificate word from you real quick. Um, I might actually because now I got to think of where how I feel about the rest of them. Not to compare, but in terms of just like what's different with this one. Then I feel a 9. I'll still you know what I'll land at a
Mm,
9. I'll land at a 9. I'm
mm.
I'm comfortable with a 9. It's
Wow.
got it's got two. I think what holds me back is that I really want to figure out what each album does to make me feel lower about it. And with this one, it's very difficult to find something other than maybe like I don't know, just me popping Mom and them out of it and being like, if this is out of the track list, it's kind of worse.
Mhm.
Like, and it's like even that's a stretch. Like that's like a nitpick. And it's like certain things that I had an issue with was like, hey, when you start some of the tracks, you get like I like to bring it up a lot, that ice slipping feeling where you're trying to catch your balance and you're like, okay, I'm in the song now, I'm good, I'm comfortable. And I think Sucker Free was one of those where it's just that like the flow is like it takes a second for your body to catch it, and you're like, oh, I like this. So you like, I'm that guy. And you're like, oh shit, okay, hang on, hang on. Okay, I like it now. We're good. We're comfortable. So like I still have that a little bit here and there, but other than that, I think it's a 9. Yeah, I'm comfortable with a 9.
Mm. Do you guys like that I like doubled the drums from Wonderwall? Like it was like in the track twice. Like they were like layered on top of each other.
Yeah, it made my head shake a little more.
Yeah.
You're saturating it. You gotta stack them. Gotta stack the drums.
Like this is like music you feel. Like, you know, it just like gets people to dance.
You know, people like to feel it emotionally, mentally.
Yeah.
I like to make them feel it physically.
Just
I
like
like to make them go,
just like
you know?
pop their eardrums. Like
Yeah.
they're like
I like to get told I gave them a hospital visit.
Well, yeah, that was our review of Don't Tap the Glass. Fantastic episode. Sorcerer Blake, thank you so much, buddy. You're such a smart fella. You're an inquisitive young man. Like, no, but like you're so like you're not only like just so smart and funny. Uh, you're just like your music knowledge and your breadth and your ability to articulate your views and your perspective is so beautiful. And also like your perspective itself is very beautiful and awesome too. So thanks for being the pal. Like it's what a lovely thing. I'm so grateful that you reached out a few months ago. So yeah. We
Yeah,
made this
thank you
connection.
for having me. I love you too, random citizen.
Yeah.
No, yeah, no, yeah, it's always fun. This is not a common thing for me. This is a recent thing of me being able to talk this deeply about music. This is like maybe like 2 years ago. I was
Wow.
like, wait a minute, there's more to this.
Mhm.
And I finally locked in, and I just was like, I like music. I want to do more with music. I worked with one of my young, like, longest friends was making music, and he had me help him with stuff. And I was like, all right, man. I'm gonna help you. It's cool. So it's a more recent thing.